going through a male puberty. Gender-affirming care is medical care. Gender-affirming care is literally suicide prevention care.
Yeah, right.
Wrong.
Hey, that's my escape pod. Who are you? I'm the bearded lady. What are you, one of the freaks?
Language art, you use the design of agreements.
So Ukraine, to appease Putin, who I think is evil, they've already given up Crimea. It was annexed. So what? They have to give up the Donbass area.
Ukraine, because of our pushing the Ukraine into the war on 2 occasions.
We pushed them into it, or did Putin?
Let me tell you. Let me
Finish.
In 2019, France, Germany, and Russia all agreed to the Minsk Accords. That year, Zelensky ran for president. He was a comedian. He had no political experience. Why did he win? Because he ran on one issue, signing the Minsk Accords. As soon as he got in there, Victoria Nuland in the White House told him he couldn't do it. Putin sends 40,000 troops in. That's not enough to conquer the country. Clearly, he wanted us to come to the negotiating. He wanted somebody to come to a negotiating table. Zelensky came to the negotiating table, signed a new agreement that was the Minsk Accords 2 in 2022, and that would have allowed Donbass to stay and Lugansk to remain as part of Ukraine. We said Putin signed it. Zelensky initialed it, and Putin, in good faith, began withdrawing troops from the Ukraine. What happened? We sent Boris Johnson over there to torpedo it, because we don't want peace we want the war with Russia.
See?
Why are you blaming?
Whoa. Welcome, boys and girls, children of ages, all ages. Hoofties, pufties, bong-eyed evers, right and left wing wackos, woodchucks, andchuckettes, kings, and queens of the Northeast Kingdom to another version of It's News to Us.
And you know who you are.
Yeah. Oh, man. All y'all. All y'all, as they say down south. And, in the booth we have Philo T. Farnsworth. So let's see who we are. Here we are. You are watching It's News to Us. We're Newport's oldest TV news, Newport, Vermont. Now, brown cow, as the locals say. Watch us now, brown cow. And we catered to everyone here. This thing, we drew it up. This came out long before this transsexual stuff came out. This thing is older than the hills. You're all welcome here. Just wash your damn hands. And here's the corrupt weasel in chief, and it looks like his kid's going down, man. The judge wouldn't let him take the sweetheart deal in court today, Philo.
Yeah, judges occasionally can do that, you know.
Yeah, I'll be damned, huh? And they say, well, it was a Trump-appointed judge. Well, no, it's they're recommended by the senators of each state, and then the president always puts them in there. But anyways, get off my lawn. The guy's toast, man. He's toast. Like Trump says, he's shot. All hail the cadaver in chief. That's right. And that damn dog, the other German Shepherd, Judicial Watch filed a Freedom of Information request, Philo.
Yeah.
Turns out their other German Shepherd, their new one, has bitten 7 people. 7 people in the past 6 months or so. But anyways, I really like Vivek Ramaswamy, and he's Trump will have a place for him in the new administration. Trust me. We need someone like Vivek to go in and clean house. And you can see Trump's agenda, what he's going to do. Do your homework this time. I know Trump's a blowhard, but look up and see what they're going to do, okay? And do your homework this time. And don't fall for this deep state crap, man, because everything they're telling us is lies.
Nope, you're upside down.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Again, I can't see it. Anyways, this is
got it.
This Missisquoi River Basin Association. or as I used to call them, grant-sucking chair warmers. But it's good if they get people out of the village. And we tried years ago. We tried to get Doc Starr to let us put a river walk. In the booth we have Philo T. Farnsworth, College of Musical Knowledge, drummer extraordinaire. He's like Ronnie Tutt, Elvis's drummer. He's the Rolls Royce of drummers. You can see his drumming videos at YouTube under Terry DeFazio. So anyways, years ago, we tried to get Doc Starr, one of the stars, whoever owned the damn property, to let us put a friggin' river rock on the west side of the Missisquoi River, right? So you could have a path that went from North Troy, from that little road next to the river. You could have a path all the way along the river, right from the village to Big Falls, and it's only about, not even a mile, maybe 2, right? And it would be beautiful. You know what I mean? Because it'd be on the bluffs overlooking the river and stuff. But I don't know whatever happened to that. It's a shame, man. We lost out on that. Oh, and I got a letter from President Biden here, Philo.
Alrighty.
I'm still on their list, man. And it's printed on union paper. Oh, by the way, Bernie's having a town hall at 7:30 tonight. I gotta call this number or whatever, and they call me. They call us at 7:30 tonight. But anyways, here it is right here. I got this in the mail from Mr. Schott. And for people who haven't seen the show before, the reason we have the gut pus on the milk jug is there is an allowable level of pus in every glass of milk and ice cream and every other dairy product. It's called the somatic cell count. So there's an allowable level of pus in every dairy product. But hey, it's pasteurized or whatever, so you probably, doesn't matter, it's just pus. Anyways, dear Steve, look, it's addressed to me, Philo. To me.
Wonders will never cease, and the governor kicked you off his show.
Yeah.
You get a letter from Joe Biden.
I hope I get to speak at the Bernie thing, because he's going to be with Governor Scott and Becca Balint and Pee Wee Welch too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if they do let me speak, you can bet your bippy I'll say, "Hey, Governor, it's me. Remember me, Steve Merrill from NEK-TV? The guy you threw off your press conferences? Mr. Hobby News." Oh, he's not real news. Yeah, right. Anyways, dear Steve, every generation has faced a moment they have to defend democracy. Here we go again. Yeah, defend it from you guys. You're censoring stuff. You're locking people up. You're turning friggin' misdemeanors into federal cases. You people are out of your frickin' mind, and you're using the FBI as your Gestapo. MAGA Republicans have their own agenda, and it's dangerous. They want to cut hard-earned Social Security benefits, control women's bodies. No, they want to control. Bodies of live women. Like half of the babies that'll be aborted will be women. Fool.
The only thing that concerns me right now with the Republicans is they want to decrease Social Security. They want to cut benefits, and that does concern me.
Yes, but remember this, Philo. They want to cut Medicaid, okay? And Medicaid is going to every swinging Dick and Jane that comes swimming across the Rio Grande automatically gets put on Medicaid. We're talking 7 million in the past 2 years, Philo. Medicaid.
But they also said Social Security and Medicare, which affects me.
Yeah, but they don't. No, it's a lie. They lump it together. It's a word play, and the same with junkies and everybody else. The people, if you ain't paid in, you shouldn't be able to pull out. Okay, and especially if you're not a citizen, man. Yeah, hard-earned Social Security control and ban books from our schools. Well, no, they want to ban not just books. They want to ban the friggin' porno. They're not.
Yep.
It's not like books. You guys are the ones who want to ban Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn because they use the N-word now and then. Come on, man.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like ban books. Yeah, you want to ban the books that show the agony, and they don't even call them. They don't even call them comic books, Tyler. They call them graphic novels.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's nuts. Yeah, you're damn right we want to ban that stuff. It shouldn't has no place in schools. You want porno, you got to go get it from your uncle like we used to.
Actually, you don't even need to go there. Just go on the net now, right?
Yeah, they were saying that the average kid spends between 6 and 8 hours a day on their cell phones. It's like, could you imagine when we were kids, if we were spending 6 hours a day jerking off or spending 6 hours a day smoking dope or 6 hours a day doing anything, you know?
I used to love to play baseball. There was a time when I was playing 2 or 3 hours of baseball a day.
Oh, no, yeah, the summertime, yeah. We used to do a lot of hiking. We knew every inch of the forest. We were, after you turned like 9 or 10 years old, we were allowed to carry a 22 rifle,
Yep, that's what I learned to shoot on.
Yeah, and these plans and more, and these plans go against our values as Americans, and we can't let them succeed. We're better than this. We have to keep fighting for our rights and freedoms. Yeah, really. Like our civil rights, like our First Amendment rights that you guys have pulled, like our Second Amendment rights that you guys have pulled. Oh, man. Yeah, but it's up to us to stop the GOP and keep the progress going. And you know what happens when MAGA Republicans are in power. You got something against Make America Great Again? I mean, they've been using that slogan since Ronald friggin' Reagan. Come on. No, we don't want to make America great again. We want to make the Ukraine great again. Oh, and thanks to Philo for putting Bobby Kennedy's clip on this week.
He's still the only guy I will vote for.
Yeah.
He is it.
Sean Hannity, to his credit, brought him on, but in typical Hannity fashion, he tried to steer him down a blind alley, and RFK just said no. He said no, we had a chance.
What? They should have fired Hannity and not Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, Hannity's
what did they do? They took the worst one.
Hannity's a go along to get along, and he repeats everything every friggin' night, so half his show is just him repeating the same line.
Yep.
But he thought he was going to lead Bobby Kennedy down this blind alley, and he wouldn't take it, man. He says, "No, let me finish." And the crowd even, you'll see the clips, and they said no. Zelensky wanted to sign the Minsk Accords twice, and we wouldn't let him. And who was the slob he mentions? That slob that wouldn't let him sign, Philo?
Who's that?
Victoria Nuland, Little Miss Warmonger. She makes Hillary look like friggin' Mother
Muffet.
Teresa.
Yeah, Little Miss Muffet on crack, maybe.
Oh man, yeah. Look up Victoria Nuland sometime. She's a whack job, man. It means unconstitutional voting attacks on voting rights silence black voters. What? We silence black voters? No, we want to silence voters, dead voters. That's what we want to do.
Well, those dead voters, they're very loud.
Yeah, especially in cities like Detroit, Chicago, Philly. Yeah, come on, man. Oh, and here we are. It means that members of the LGBTQ plus community live in fear. I would ask President, I would ask Joe Biden, Mr. Corruption, I would ask him, if I was in the press and had the chance, I would say, Mr. Biden, could you tell us what LGBTQ plus stands for? And especially the plus. Could you tell me what the plus stands for? Yeah. It means our communities remain threatened by gun violence. Yeah, most of it coming from my son Hunter.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I won't stand for that, and I know you won't either.
I won't stand for that. I'll sit.
Yeah. Yeah. We got to do that coke, man. Oh, God almighty. That cocaine in the White House, it explains everything. It explains everything. Yeah, I know what we'll do. We're going to fundamentally reshape America. We're going to get off fossil fuels in like 90 days. We'll have plug-in stations everywhere, and we'll go all electric, and we'll get rid of like dishwashers and dryers and now hot water heaters. Oh man, let's see, here we are. In 2022, Democrats defied the odds. No, we had a little voting. We might have had some machine problems. I told you, if you get a chance to look it up, man, look up the Haldeman report. Read the summary. It's only about 18 pages. The Haldeman report about the voting irregularities and the problems with the machines. And in just 2 years, we've helped create 12 million new jobs and brought back American manufacturing.
Yes, and I know a guy who's got 3 of those jobs.
Yeah. Really? You brought back manufacturing? Where? Where, man?
Well,
They got a couple of billboards in a cornfield in friggin' Iowa. And another place, I don't think they've even broken ground at a chip plant in friggin' Phoenix, Arizona or some damn thing.
I remember something very silly that H. Ross Perot said. He says, doesn't matter if it's what was it, computer chips or potato chips. Sorry, but there's a big difference.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money in one and there isn't in the other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man.
I do like potato chips, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love them, especially the Cape Cod ones. Let's see. Made historic investments in our nation's infrastructure. Oh, yeah, right. Infrastructure being the tax credits, or they're not credits, they're welfare payments, basically. And let's see. Confirmed Justice Jumanji Jackson Brown as the first black woman on the Supreme Court. That's because he put out the feelers and said, I want a black woman on the Supreme Court. Not someone who's qualified.
Do you say Janet Jackson?
Yeah, it's Jumanji Jackson Brown, yeah.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have Paula Abdul.
Yeah. And the Senator, Marsha Brown says, Marsha, whatever, says to her, could you explain to me what the definition of a woman is? Me? A woman? Not in this context. It's like, what? You want to be a Supreme Court justice, you're going to be dealing with cases about men, women, Title IX, every other damn thing, and you can't or won't explain to the confirmation people what a woman is?
I think I saw that segment somewhere.
Oh, it's nuts. Yeah. And here we are. Passed critical legislation to bring down costs like the price of prescription drugs for families. Really? Have you noticed any, I know you're not a big pharmaceutical, neither am I. I try and stay away from prescription drugs, but have you noticed the price of drugs going down anywhere, Philo?
Actually, with the way my insurance works, I hardly pay anything for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking all generic anyway.
Yeah, well, we had to wait 40 years to do it. When we were, before we turned 65, we were screwed.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man. Bring down prescription drugs. Made the single biggest investment in climate in our nation's history and so much more. The biggest investment in climate. What? In climate what?
Well, they want to turn the heat up. I guess they did it. Right?
Man. Trust me, I've been stacking wood a little bit at a time, right? You know me. I put on my boots. I go out there. Snowmobile boots are the only thing that can fit my damn feet. And I go out there with the dogs, and I'm trying to stack a little bit at a time. But we've had so much rain, man. The wood's like covered with slugs and frickin' tank beetles, silverfish, earwigs, friggin'. Oh, man. That's it from Joe Biden. Yep, that's it, man. Oh, and right here over in Burlington, Philo, guess
my
what?
favorite place.
Yeah, your favorite snowflake city.
If you want snowflakes in the summer, that's the place to go.
Man charged with murder of woman in a local park, Philo.
No.
Yeah, and guess what? Greasy Sarah, our elected George Soros-backed district attorney, had let him out. He's been out on get this, Philo. He's because he's a new American, right? Because he's a new American, and you know what that means. He's black. Well, let's see. He get this. His name is Mumbert. What the hell is it? Claude Mumbert, 29. Sexually assaulting and strangling to death a 31-year-old woman at a park in Burlington. But
he's a good boy.
Yeah, he's a very good boy. And get this, he has 16 active pretrial cases in Vermont, most of which have taken place in Chittenden County, others in Rutland. Greasy Sarah George, the state's attorney, said at the press conference those cases are part of the backlog from COVID, Philo. And most are from 2020 to 22. Oh, so till last year. So why isn't his ass locked up? And you know what, Philo? It turns out that they got him, one of the charges they got him on is sexually assaulting this woman in a park last year. And she identified him and everything. And he was out on friggin' bail or personal recognizance. Mm-hmm. I saw this woman on TV crying up a storm on Channel 3. This is insane. I don't care what color this dick is, okay? He should be in the joint. You don't get 16 active cases and be out on the street.
That's why I don't go to Burlington anymore.
It's crazy. Detectives spent 10 days interviewing people who knew the victim and last seen her and reviewing video footage. Well, yeah, no kidding. So they knew it was him, and the guy's got a friggin' history of it. After interviewing Mumber's father and mother and Mumbert himself, officers eventually matched fingerprints from a Four Loko can left at the scene with him and matched a shoe insole found near the body to the shoe of Mumbert, which was missing the insole at the time of his arrest. The detectives also identified him on numerous shots of surveillance video as the same man seen walking with the victim after she was last seen in the parking garage next to City Hall. The nature remains unknown. 12 misdemeanor cases, Philo, and 4 felonies. 4 felonies, and the guy's walking the friggin' streets. Let's see. Police have not charged him with sexual assault. Belleville said the final autopsy reports are still pending. He has 16 active pretrial cases. We went through that. One of the cases pending is for lewd and lascivious conduct for an incident where he reportedly exposed his to a woman in a park and asked for a kiss. There are mental health concerns that have come up through the affidavits of other cases, and he was clearly struggling with some mental health issues that were not being addressed. But I don't know if there are any particular diagnoses or anything more specific, said Sarah George. You know what, honey? You should be run out of Burlington on a rail, all right? You know, let's see you walk downtown with this guy, hand in hand. One of the Phil Scott, always talking about the countless contributions of new Americans. Yeah, they're just raping and murdering the people that Americans can't be bothered to rape and murder, Philo.
Well, I suppose someone's got to do the job, right?
Yep, like George Bush said.
I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. Oh, and here we are. You gotta love. Oh, you gotta love the damn propaganda. This is from today's paper. Let's see. Biden's in top shape. He's not corrupt either. Trust us. Confidence jumps. See? We wouldn't lie to you, Philo. And hold it there for a second. And here's the article right here. Consumer confidence jumps, Philo. It's jumping.
Amazing. I can't even do that.
Yeah. Consumer confidence jumps to a 2-year high. This is from Paul Wiseman. He's otherwise known as a Democratic operative with a press pass. That's all he did for 3 or 4 years was bash Donald Trump, and now all he's doing is put on the knee pads for Uncle Joe Bite Me. Yeah, let's see. The U.S. got shot to its highest level in 2 years as inflationary pressures eased. Sure they did. And the American economy continued to show resilience in the face of dramatically higher interest rates. To show resilience. What does that mean, Philo?
I'm not even sure what a resilience is. I went down to the store to buy one and I couldn't find one anywhere.
There's no measurement or anything here, no qualifiers. The conference board, let's see, who was this? The Conference Board, a business research group, said its consumer confidence rose to 117 from July and revised up from 110 in June. The gauge beat the 110 that the economists had expected and was the highest since July of 2021. It measures both Americans' assessment of current economic conditions and their outlook for the next 6 months. Both improved in July. The future expectation rose to 88.3, clearing the recession threshold of 80 recorded in June. Wow! Economists closely monitor American spirits because consumer spending accounts for 70%. Yeah, people are they're stretched thin. They're buying stuff on credit cards, necessities on credit cards. Interest rates are insane. They've gone through the roof because you ruined it. You ruined the economy. The conference board fell steadily as surging prices ate into household budgets. No, you think?
No.
That's the only true part in here, Philo.
Probably. Is that the Burlington Free Press?
Of course.
Well, there you have it. They're liberal and they're right all the time.
Oh, yep. But confidence has come back in fits and starts. Over the past years, inflation eased in the face of 10 interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve, which is not federal and has no reserves. Fed policymakers are expected to raise their rate again Wednesday to the highest level in 22 years. That'll put the kibosh on the economy, Philo.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not half dead now, it will be after the next rate increase. Expectations improve material, reflecting greater confidence. Oh, sure. And here's another one. Here's another one. Also, this is from today's paper also. Is it? No, this is from last Friday. U.S. jobless claims fall again as labor market still shows strength, Philo. Get this. And right below it, Wagner mercenaries train with Belarusian military. Oh, whatever happened to their spring offensive in the Ukraine, Philo?
I'm not sure.
Isn't spring like come and gone, buddy?
More than likely.
Yeah, see, the economy's doing great.
Except if you're in Australia, I guess.
Yeah. Spring offensive, yeah.
Now,
That's right.
Isn't Australia in NATO?
No.
They're in the North Atlantic, aren't they?
Yeah, might as well be. Like they're as much as Turkey is, right?
The answer is yes.
Yeah. And of course, it wouldn't be a daily paper without another article bashing guess who? That's right, Satan himself, enemy of the deep state and the permanent bureaucracy, Donald J. Trump. He's bad, man. He's bad. Bad. Very bad. Trump's very bad.
He might do himself a favor by shutting up once in a while.
Yeah, I don't care. Let him.
He's like a petulant child. He can't shut up.
I know, he's just like Teddy Roosevelt and Andrew Jackson, but damn it, Philo, he gets stuff done. That's all I care about. And here's another one. The permafrost is melting up in Alaska, Philo, and it's got the military a little bit.
In Siberia, it's doing the same thing.
Yeah, they got those drunken forests, man. The forests are tipping all over the place. And guess what? They have these things called methane clathrates, okay? See, it doesn't matter, boys and girls. We can go down to zero greenhouse gas CO2 emissions tomorrow, okay? Right to zero tomorrow. And because it's on a curve and it's melting the permafrost, it's opening up those methane clathrates, and methane is 10 times worse of a greenhouse gas, 10 times worse than CO2, and water vapor also, because water vapor is a friggin' greenhouse gas. You know that?
Yep.
Oh, and here's another one. This is from today's paper also. You believe it, Philo? Study.
I believe anything.
Climate change fuels July heat. Do you believe it? It's warm in the summer, Philo.
If I was living in Texas or California, I would, that's real heat.
Well, yeah, get this. Speaking of which, here it is right here. Summer temps energy use over the past decade. Record heat paints the story of a warming world. Well, wait a minute. It's called Death Valley for a reason, Philo, okay? Yep. I crossed Death Valley one time in the summer, we did, and we made sure we did it at night, okay? We hung around this town called Needles, which is on the east side of the Death Valley, Philo, and we hung around there during the day, and then we waited till nighttime to cross Death Valley, because you do not want to cross it during the day. I mean, even back in the 70s, Philo, it was 110. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's nuts. And here it is right here. Restaurant closes abruptly after less than a year. And they keep saying this over and over again, too. Restaurants, of course, have faced multiple obstacles since the COVID-19 pandemic shut them down for several weeks. No, the pandemic didn't shut them down. Governor Scott and Dr. Levine shut them down for absolutely no friggin' reason. Now we're finding out that up to 30% or more of the deaths were exaggerated, Philo.
Oh, that's true. And attributed to COVID when it really wasn't COVID. Remember Dawn Wells, the big thing of Dawn Wells dies of COVID. No, she had stage 4 cancer.
Yeah. I was told my wife died of COVID on St. Patty's Day in 2020. And lo and behold, I get the death certificate and it said septic shock and cirrhosis. And it's like, what the hell?
Oh, the COVID, it has to be that. It has to be that.
Yeah. So she died alone. Nobody could be with her on her when she took her last breath in the hospital because of the COVID. No, because of the restrictions of the idiot governors.
We have one right up on East Main, that Chinese restaurant. You can't go in there and eat anymore. He's got all his junk packed in there because he couldn't afford to live. He has to live in his restaurant.
Yeah, damn it.
Nice going, Governor.
Yeah, rapidly changing. And you get down to, you go through it, right? The following week saw weather advisories different. Heavy rains, massive flooding, pointing to a rapidly changing climate. Vermont's latest climate assessment conducted in 2021 shows a statewide average annual temperature increase of almost 2 degrees Fahrenheit since 1900, Philo. 2 degrees since 1900. In 120 years, 2 friggin' degrees.
Yep. Well, it's like you have said, and I keep repeating, climate change is inevitable. We are going through parts of the galaxy that are going to affect us.
And if we get one of those solar flares on our side of the sun when it's facing us, well, we could be toast. We could lose everything, man.
Yeah.
And here, I thought of you when I saw this article, Philo. Well, it's me, tardiness, because I'm always late. Tardiness could be a real mental health condition. and they attribute it to bad lobes, Philo. And I'm thinking, bad lobes? What are they, Ferengis?
They must be Ferengis, yeah. Are you part Ferengi and you don't know it?
Yeah, I'm part Ferengi. I want my lobes rubbed before I come in.
Humox, right?
Oh, it's crazy.
Remember what Quark said to Deanna Troi? Not Deanna, but her mother, Loxana?
Yeah.
Don't stop until you see smoke come out of my ears.
Jesus. If you consistently over or underestimate how much time has passed, seem to run late no matter how you or think you've been distracted for a few minutes, only look at a clock and see 2 hours are gone, you may be time blind. And you know what they're doing? They're doing this for black people. It's not that all black people have time blindness, Philo. It's not that all Gen Zs have time blindness either.
No, they're just rude.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh man! So get this. They use this thing to gauge the temperature now, and computer models. And in one of the methods, it's called the wet bulb method, Philo. You ever heard of that?
No.
Neither have I. You're gonna love this. Here we are. Let's see. The National Weather Service uses the wet bulb globe temperature to show bodily effects of environmental heat stress in their areas, so people protect themselves from experiencing heat-related illnesses during hot periods. Oh, that's another thing we used to get. They had these water bags when you cross the desert, and they were like a wineskin, right? And they had cloth on the outside, and you kept the cloth wet. And when you hung it over your rearview mirror when you drove through the desert, no matter how hot it was, it kept the damn water cool. It was weird, man. Speaking of which, I was going to remind you something about that. Oh, remind me the heat shields. Don't let me forget to tell you about the heat shields.
Oh, okay.
The wet bulb globe temperature, WGBT, is a measurement taken from a thermometer covered with a wet cloth, which mimics how the body sweats to cool itself. A black globe, which measures solar radiation, and a dry bulb, which calculates air temperature in the shade. The WGBT accounts for heat stress in direct sunlight, taking into account temperature, humidity, wind speed, and sun angle. Okay, you got that, boys and girls? Let's make everything more difficult, okay?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, I'm watching the NASA channel, Philo, right?
Sure.
And it shows, it showed that they have these machine tools where they're machining the capsule that comes in, from the new Artemis rockets and stuff.
Yep.
And you wouldn't believe it, that they machine it. It's like the thing stands still, and the machine tool part is bolted into the floor, and the head comes around like our CNC things that we run on and anyways. So they have these little pockets, and what they're doing is underneath the tiles, underneath the heat tiles, they have these little pockets. And what they're doing is they have when they assemble them, they have these people assemble this goop in each little pocket so that as the tiles wear down or wear off or something, the goop starts to wear off, but only a little bit at a time. It's fascinating, man. The NASA channel is one of the best on the planet. It's great. And here we are. Here's another one. This is from Wednesday, today. Earth is the hottest it's been in 120,000 years. Really? And they've done that by tree rings, Philo, they said. Do you know any trees that are 120,000 years old?
Hey, listen, Smiling Mike told us the earth is 4,500 to 6,000 years old, and I'm going by Mike.
Oh, man. Yeah, would he lie to us?
He still watches the Flintstones as if it was a documentary, too.
Yeah.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones.
Yeah. Wait. Speaking of which, this is by Seth Borenstein, Associated Press. Let's see. Thanks to years of research and more powerful computers, again with the computer models. Always with the computer models, Philo.
Yep.
Scientists can now determine almost in real time whether the climate change is contributing to the intensity of heat storms, floods, and drought, and by how much. Man, this is insane. The qualifiers are insane. These unusually strong heat waves are becoming more common. The same research found increase in heat-trapping gases, largely from the burning of coal, oil, natural gas, has made another heat wave, the one in China, 50 times more likely. And get this, they say statistically the one in China could have happened without global warming.
Yeah.
Anything to let China off the hook, Philo.
Well.
They know who their paymasters are, evidently.
Yes.
A stagnant atmosphere warmed by CO2 and other gases made the European heat wave 4.5 degrees Fahrenheit hotter. Well, here's an idea, okay? There's a reason why people visit Greece, Spain, and Italy in the winter, boys and girls.
Yep.
In the winter. Because those Mediterranean cities in the summer are frickin' hotter than Hades.
Yep.
And always have been. We're crying out loud, man. Relying on data gleaned from tree rings and other stand-ins for temperature records. Stand-ins, okay? That means data we don't really have, right?
No knowns that we know and no knowns that we don't know.
And the known unknowns, known.
I can't believe, what was he smoking that day when he said that?
That aren't known. I don't know. He was in full Rumsfeld talk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's the climate scientists say this month's weather likely represents the hottest Earth has been in about 120,000 years, which would make it easily the hottest in human civilization. Okay. According to calculations by the University of Maine's Climate Reanalyzer. Wow, they have a reanalyzer, boys and girls. It's about this big, and you plug it into your computer, and it reanalyzes all your data for you.
I think they have a gonculator too.
Oh, yeah. It's a super gonculator.
Boy, I guess. It has to be.
A super donkulator. Let's see. The way scientists do these rapid analyses by comparing observations of current weather in the three regions to repeated computer simulations in a world that might have been without climate change.
Might have been.
Yeah, what? Said co-author Isadine Pinto, a guy from the Netherlands. In Europe and North America, the study doesn't claim human-caused climate change is the sole cause of heat waves, but it is a necessary ingredient because natural causes and random chance couldn't produce this scenario alone. Oh, you know that for a fact. They just know that for a fact. We're speculating on everything else, but we happen to know this for a fact. I can't take it, Philo. I can't take it. Oh, what do we got for news that isn't news? Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've been sending $5 billion a month to the Ukraine, looks like, Philo. Let's see. $900 million's been lost by Disney with 8 movies. The Sound of Freedom cost $14 million to make, and it's brought in over $100 million.
Yes, and the media doesn't want to give it any publicity.
No.
I'm not going to go watch it because it would be very depressing, but I'm glad that it's getting all the attention and Hollywood isn't.
Yeah. And it looks like that QAnon stuff was true, especially when it comes to Epstein and stuff. Because they're trying to get the CIA and these other pukes to release the Epstein camera footage and his manifest and all the other stuff. Man. Yeah, they said Oh, there's a Harvey Milk. Remember the San
Yes.
Francisco mayor?
I remember that, yeah. I
Yeah,
saw a
the-
movie about that.
The queer guy, yeah. It said that he had dated juveniles. He's not a pedophile, Philo. He's just dated juveniles. So that, I guess that makes him a MAP, a minor attracted person.
Yeah, don't you love all these new terminologies?
Oh, sure. You know, he's not a pedo, he's a MAP, man.
Actually, you know what they call them out in some of your bigger prisons in the Midwest? They call them chomos.
Yeah.
You've heard that one, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. And it looks like Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, has said to migrants, we're all full up. And New York City is paying a $13 million payout to the BLM rioters, Philo. 1,380 rioters are going to split about 10 grand each for their mostly peaceful riots where they burned cruisers and smashed storefronts and looted stores.
Yes, we had to wear masks and we were locked down, but they got to go out and riot with no masks.
Yeah, and now they're going to get paid for it. Is that crazy?
We should do that too, but we don't qualify. We're white.
Yeah, and we got to be. Well, most of these people were white too. That's the weird thing. They're spoiled white suburban pukes. And man, oh man, yep. Oh, and no networks except for Fox covered the IRS whistleblower testimony. I don't understand why. And Fox is Fox is like news for stupid people now.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh yeah, and speaking of which, Fox, if you want to give money to charities, Philo, Fox will match up to 100%. And some of the charities that Fox will match your donations to include the Satanic Temple, Planned Parenthood, the Southern Poverty Law Center, and they have a porthole for the employees to go in and make these donations, and Fox will match every one of them.
Really, Planned Parenthood?
Yeah, the Satanic Temple. And the SPLC too, man. Oh, and get this. While everybody was sleeping and just in time for an upcoming winter, if I were in the audience and I burned oil right now, in the winter, I would fill up the tanks now, boys and girls, because oil has just gone from $63 a barrel, Philo, to $78 a barrel.
And then Vermont's going to add a tax on that also.
Yeah, and that bonehead Biden, he's just about tapped out the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, so that's probably why the prices are going up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vermont's going to put this carbon tax on everything.
Yeah, what do they call that stupid thing?
Oh, I can't remember what it was.
The Clean Heat Standard.
Yeah, it was the S5, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, what a great name.
Because
for
Vermont is going to save the planet.
Oh, yeah.
All 635,000 of us, if we just put a stop to all this carbon and all this pollution, and we're going to save the world.
Yep, it's your fault. You and you and you and you and you and you out back too.
Yes, and even though I have a big fancy vehicle and whatever, it's not me.
Yep, Cadillac. You know that a friggin' giant V8 truck with a 16-speed transmission, Philo, puts out fewer emissions. A new truck puts out fewer emissions than a 65 Volkswagen did. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine that? Is that insane or what? Oh, get this. The Boston police report said that they stepped over hundreds of uncapped needles at Mass Ave and Cass Street, downtown Boston. It's turned into it's a junkie war zone down there. They're handing out free needles, they're handing out meth pipes, and people are crapping. It's turned into San Francisco East now.
Yeah, or the other one is Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, and get this. You know how they were saying that we need diversity in airline pilots and medical schools and stuff like that? We don't care, about your SATs, none of that stuff, your engineering backgrounds. We need doctors of color. We need, people of color, right, Philo?
Yep.
Well, that submarine that got squished down by the Titanic, right?
Yeah.
The Titan Company, the owner, Stockton Rush, had said, this is a couple weeks before the thing imploded, right, on that last trip. He said that they had no need of old white guys with long military experience in submarining to invent and manufacture his submarines, by Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Stockton Rush, that worked out real good, didn't it?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, let me repeat that again for you people on drugs. We had no need for old white guys with long military experience in submarining to invent and manufacture Titan Company submarines. Oh, and nobody was running the damn UFO hearings today, Philo.
Huh.
Only AMVO, America's Voice Channel, they ran it for a while until noontime, and then it stopped. Fox was with everybody else waiting outside the courthouse for Hunter Biden to come out, and he came out and never said anything. His deal got blown up. So, yeah, it didn't do nothing, man. And this woman called up the courthouse or the judge's office last night, Philo.
Yep.
Her name is Jessica Bingles. She impersonated a Republican and tried to sway the clerk of court to remove testimony as a House Republican in an amicus brief in the Hunter Biden trial. Evidently she works for a company, a law firm called Latham and Watkins. And that's probably why the judge was so PO'd, man. Because they must have been, think about it. Did you see the picture of Hunter's lawyer with the bong when he went to visit his lawyer in Hollywood last week?
No, I didn't.
They show a picture of his lawyer. He's out on the deck after Hunter goes in the guy's apartment. He's meeting with his lawyer. His lawyer comes out on the deck. He looked like that old Nick Nolte friggin' arrest picture, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he's out there with a friggin' 2-foot-high bong on his deck, taking big old friggin' honking bong hits while Hunter's in his apartment waiting to confer with his lawyer. Okay,
Yep,
no
that's
problem
good.
there.
That's always good, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to hire a lawyer like that, Philo. Yeah, the German Shepherd Commander, he bit 7 people. And Major went off to the farm last year, a year before. Oh, and get this. The NYPD, they're trying to get the NYPD to release the Malcolm X files, Philo.
Huh.
It seems like somebody leaked one of the pages of the files out.
Yep.
And it said that they couldn't, the cops couldn't go chasing after the guys who shot Malcolm X because one of the shooters was one of ours. Yeah,
Interesting.
nothing to see there, right, Philo?
Sheesh.
Unbelievable. And they wonder why Trump hates the deep state and wants to get rid of it. They're putting together teams right now to do the transition, to go in there right away, just like Dick Cheney did. Dick Cheney knew, now get this, Dick Cheney knew that if he didn't give a face-to-face order to the CIA, the Department of Defense, to anybody, if it wasn't a face-to-face order, Cheney knew that it wouldn't get done. He'd just get some BS email tossed back at him and bada yada, right? So Cheney had an office in all of these bureaucracies. He had one in like the FBI, he had one in the friggin' Pentagon, he had one at the CIA, he had his own office, Philo, with his own people, and that's exactly what Trump has got to do when he gets in.
Okay, last but not least.
Oh my God, last but not least.
Yeah, one left.
Oh, okay, all right, last but not least. Well, Today is, let's see, today is Wednesday, July 26th, and it is the 75th anniversary. Happy birthday, CIA. That's right. In 1947, Harry S. Truman signed the National Security Act, which reorganized the armed forces as the national military establishment and created the Central Intelligence Agency.
Okay.
And within 6 years, they became operational, and Truman regretted it ever since. Well, once again, you wasted a perfectly good hour of your life watching this stupid show. So hopefully, we'll see you again next week. Inshallah, good Lord will, and the creek don't rise. So until then, get down on your hands and knees in the men only mosque, sniff the bum of the guy in the man dressed in front of you, head east towards the meteorite Mecca, and go, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Snakbar, Allahu Open Bar, Akbar.
And once again, a happy Deus Magnus Est to all of you.
Wow, that went by quick.
But now you're going through a male puberty. Gender affirming care is medical care. Gender affirming care is literally suicide prevention care.
Yeah, right. Joining me now, Raymond Royal.
Hey, that's my escape pod. Who are you? I'm the bearded lady. What are you, one of the freaks?
Language art, you use the design of agreements.
So Ukraine, to appease Putin, who I think is evil, they've already given up Crimea. It was annexed. So what? Now they have to give up the Donbass area.
Ukraine, because of our pushing the Ukraine into the war on two occasions.
We pushed them into it, or did Putin?
Let me tell you. Let me answer your question. In 2019. France, Germany, and Russia all agreed to the Minsk Accords. That year, Zelensky ran for president. He was a comedian. He had no political experience. Why did he win? Because he ran on one issue, signing the Minsk Accords. As soon as he got in there, Victoria Nuland in the White House told him he couldn't do it. Putin sends 40,000 troops in. That's not enough to conquer the country. Clearly, he wanted us to come to the negotiating. He wanted somebody to come to a negotiating table. Zelensky came to the negotiating table, signed a new agreement that was the Minsk Accords 2 in 2022, and that would have allowed Donbass to stay and Lugansk to remain as part of Ukraine. We said Putin signed it. Zelensky initialed it, and Putin, in good faith, began withdrawing troops from the Ukraine. What happened? We sent Boris Johnson over there to torpedo it, because we don't want peace we want the war with Russia.
See? Why are you blaming America?